Welcome back to the Wellbeing Podcast. You know, your go-to spot for inspiration and motivation and all those practical tips to live your best life.
Absolutely.
We're wrapping up 2024, and you know what that means.
Oh, yeah.
The new year is right around the corner,
It is.
and with it comes that urge to hit the reset button.
Yes.
Set some ambitious goals.
Of course.
Maybe even feel that familiar twinge of anxiety
Oh.
about actually sticking to them.
Yeah, you're not alone.
Oh, really?
Studies show that a staggering 80% of those New Year's resolutions,
Oh, wow.
they fizzle out by February.
It's almost like setting ourselves up for a fall, isn't it?
Yeah.
We start with the best intentions,
Right.
but those resolutions often feel more like wishful thinking than an actual roadmap.
Exactly. And I think part of the issue is that resolutions can be rooted in this idea of fixing something that's wrong with us.
Oh.
So instead of feeling empowered, we're starting from a place of self-criticism, which can be pretty demotivating.
Okay, so how do we break free from that resolution rut? Today's deep dive is all about ditching those vague resolutions and embracing a more effective approach.
Okay.
SMART goals.
I like it.
I know it sounds a little, well, corporate jargony,
Yeah.
but stick with us because this framework can truly change your approach to setting and achieving goals.
Yes.
Not just for the new year,
Right.
but for any area of your life.
That's right. The beauty of SMART goals lies in their clarity and structure.
Okay.
Let's unpack that acronym. Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Love it.
And don't worry, we're not going to just throw definitions at you.
Okay, good.
We'll delve into the why behind each element and how it can make a tangible difference.
Perfect. I think most of us understand the specific part.
Yeah.
Like saying I'll run a marathon is a lot different from I'll go for a jog sometime this week.
Huge difference.
But why is that specificity so crucial?
It all comes down to giving your brain a clear target.
Hmm.
Vague goals leave too much room for interpretation,
Yeah.
making it easy to procrastinate or lose focus. When you pinpoint exactly what you want to achieve,
Yeah.
it shifts from a wish to an actionable plan.
So if my goal is, let's say, saving money,
Ugh.
instead of saying I need to save more,
Right.
a specific goal would be more like I'll save $50 a week,
Yeah.
or I'll set aside 10% of each paycheck.
You got it. Now let's move on to measurables.
Okay.
It's about quantifying your goal, giving yourself a way to track your progress.
I see.
Think of it like a progress bar loading up as you get closer to your goal.
So instead of just saying I want to be more active,
Yeah.
you'd say I'll work out 3 times a week,
Uh-huh.
or I'll walk 10,000 steps a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're giving yourself concrete benchmarks to aim for.
Okay.
And this isn't just about checking boxes. Research shows that tracking your progress actually boosts your motivation
Oh, wow.
and increases your chances of success.
That makes sense. Seeing those small wins along the way can be incredibly motivating.
Yeah.
So we've got specific and measurable.
Yeah.
What about achievable?
This one's all about being realistic. It's great to dream big,
It is.
but setting unattainable goals can set you up for disappointment and frustration.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you've never run a mile in your life,
Right.
aiming for a marathon in a month might not be the most achievable goal.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's about setting ourselves up for success, right?
Exactly.
So if I wanted to write a novel, but struggle to find a spare hour in the day,
Okay.
maybe starting with a short story a week would be a more achievable starting point.
Precisely, breaking down those larger goals into smaller, more manageable steps can make all the difference.
Oh,
Think of it as climbing a mountain.
yeah.
You wouldn't expect to reach the summit in one giant leap.
Right.
You take it one step at a time, celebrating each milestone along the way.
That's a great analogy. And speaking of celebrating milestones, let's talk about relevant.
This is where things get personal.
Ooh, I like it.
A relevant goal aligns with your values, your passions, and your current stage of life.
Makes sense.
It's not about chasing what you should be doing, but what truly resonates with you.
Right.
If your goal feels like a chore or like something you're doing just to please others,
Uh-huh.
chances are it's not truly relevant to your aspirations.
So if someone's a new parent and their world revolves around their little one,
Yeah.
aiming to climb the corporate ladder might not be the most relevant goal at this point in their life.
Right. Maybe their focus is more on creating a nurturing environment for their family,
Yeah.
and their goals might revolve around spending quality time with their child
Okay.
or building a strong support network.
It's about setting goals that make sense for you,
Yes.
for your life, for what truly matters to you.
Exactly.
So far, this SMART framework is really making those resolutions seem well, a bit pointless.
I think it's about shifting from vague wishes to a more intentional and personalized approach.
Okay.
And that brings us to the final element of a SMART goal, time-bound.
Oh.
This is where you set a deadline, a clear time frame for achieving your goal.
Because without a deadline, it's easy to keep pushing things off indefinitely.
Exactly. You know the saying, a goal without a deadline is just a dream.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one.
But there's a lot of truth to that.
I bet.
Deadlines create a sense of urgency, a structure that helped you stay focused and accountable.
So instead of saying, I want to learn a new language,
Yeah,
you'd say, I'll be conversational in Spanish by the end of the year.
exactly. That time frame gives you a clear target to work towards.
Makes sense.
Now, I know some people might find deadlines a bit daunting,
Yeah.
but think of them as a supportive structure,
Okay.
like guideposts along your journey.
So we've got our SMART framework down.
Yeah.
We've got our specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals all laid out.
Okay.
But how do we actually go about putting this into practice? What are some tangible steps we can take to start achieving these goals?
Well, you might be surprised to learn that one of the simplest yet most effective strategies is simply writing them down.
Really?
You might think, oh, that's too basic.
Yeah, it does sound pretty simple.
But research shows that people who write down their goals are significantly more likely to achieve them.
I've heard that before,
Yeah.
but I've always been a bit skeptical.
Okay.
How does simply putting pen to paper make such a difference?
There's actually some fascinating neuroscience behind it.
Okay.
When you write something down, it activates a different part of the brain,
Uh-huh.
increasing your commitment and focus.
Oh, I see.
It's like you're making a contract with yourself, solidifying that intention.
So it's not just about having a vague idea floating around in your head,
No.
but actually externalizing it.
Exactly. And here's another tip.
Okay.
Don't just tuck that written goal away in a drawer.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Put it somewhere you'll see it every day, a visual reminder to keep you motivated.
I like that.
You could create a vision board,
Yes.
stick a note on your bathroom mirror,
Uh-huh.
or even use the lock screen on your phone.
Love that idea. It's
Oh.
like having a little nudge throughout the day reminding you of what you're working toward.
Right.
Speaking of nudges, what about sharing your goals with others?
Oh,
Does that help or hurt?
that's a great question, and it's a bit of a double-edged sword.
Okay.
Sharing your goals with a trusted friend or accountability partner can be incredibly helpful.
I can see that.
It's like having a cheerleader in your corner, someone to check in with and keep you motivated.
But I've also heard that announcing your goals publicly, like on social media, can backfire.
That's right. You might be surprised to learn that studies have shown that when we announce our goals publicly,
Uh-huh.
we can get a premature sense of satisfaction.
Oh.
It's like our brain tricks us into thinking we've already achieved the goal just by talking about it.
So we're getting the kudos before putting in the work.
Exactly.
I can see how that would sabotage our motivation. So it seems like finding the right accountability partner,
Yeah,
someone who offers genuine support without the pressure of public scrutiny, is key.
absolutely. Now, let's talk about another powerful tool for achieving goals: visualization.
Okay. I have to admit, I'm a bit intrigued, but also a bit skeptical.
Okay.
How does simply picturing something in your mind actually help you achieve it?
Here's what's fascinating. When you vividly imagine yourself successfully achieving your goal,
Uh-huh.
your brain actually fires in a way that's similar to actually performing the action.
So our brains can't really tell the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one.
That's right. Visualization primes our neural pathways,
Wow.
making it more likely we'll take the actions necessary to achieve our goals in real life.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
So how do we incorporate visualization into our goal-setting process?
It can be as simple as taking a few minutes each day to close your eyes
Okay.
and imagine yourself successfully completing your goal.
I like it.
Engage all your senses. What do you see, hear, feel?
Right.
The more vivid the imagery, the more powerful the effect.
So if my goal is to run that marathon, I should visualize myself crossing the finish line, feeling the exhaustion and exhilaration,
Yes.
hearing the cheers of the crowd.
Exactly. Make it as real as possible. And don't forget those vision boards we talked about.
Yeah.
Filling them with images that represent your goals can be another powerful way to bring those visualizations to life.
This is all starting to make a lot of sense. But let's be honest, even with the best planning and visualization,
Yeah.
we all hit bumps in the road. How do we deal with setbacks and stay motivated when things get tough?
That's where self-compassion comes in.
Okay.
So often we set these lofty goals and beat ourselves up when we inevitably stumble.
Oh, yeah, we're really good at that.
Remember, progress isn't linear. There will be ups and
I
downs,
know, it's true.
detours and unexpected challenges.
It's so easy to fall into that trap of negative self-talk, especially when we feel like we're not making progress fast enough.
Absolutely. But instead of getting discouraged, try to view those setbacks as learning experiences.
Okay?
Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I adjust my approach?
Right.
Flexibility is key.
So it's not about rigidly sticking to the original plan no matter what,
Right.
but about adapting as needed.
Exactly. And don't forget to celebrate those small wins along the way. Each step forward, no matter how small, deserves recognition.
Yes, I love that.
Those little victories reinforce positive behavior and help keep you motivated.
It's like giving yourself mini rewards along the way, acknowledging the effort and celebrating the progress.
Exactly.
So we've got our SMART goals, our visualizations, our self-compassion toolkit. What else can we do to set ourselves up for success in 2025?
Well, I think it's crucial to remember the power of daily habits.
Daily habits.
You might be thinking, hold on, aren't we talking about big goals here?
Right.
What do daily habits have to do with that?
Yeah.
But trust me, this is where the magic really happens.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more about the connection between daily habits and achieving those big goals.
Think of it this way. Those big goals, those dreams you have for your life, they're the destination.
Okay.
But daily habits are the vehicle that gets you there. They're the small, consistent actions you take each day
I see.
that over time lead to remarkable results.
So it's not about making massive sweeping changes all at once,
Right.
but incorporating those positive habits into our daily routines.
Yeah.
It's like the saying, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
Those grand achievements are the result of consistent effort over time.
Exactly. Imagine if you committed to reading just 10 pages of a book every day.
Okay.
It might not seem like much,
Yeah.
but by the end of the year, you'll have read over 3,650 pages.
Wow.
That's a lot of books. Or think about fitness.
Yeah.
Even just 15 minutes of exercise a day can have a significant impact on your health and well-being over time.
That's a great way to illustrate the power of small, consistent actions.
Yeah.
It's not about overwhelming ourselves with huge changes,
Yeah,
but rather weaving those positive habits into the fabric of our lives.
absolutely. And this brings us to another crucial aspect of successful goal setting, aligning your goals with your values.
Okay, values.
What are those core principles that guide your life that bring you a sense of meaning and purpose?
This is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? It's not just about setting any goal, but making sure it resonates with what truly matters to us.
It's fascinating how often people set goals based on external pressures,
Oh,
what they think they should be doing,
right.
rather than what truly lights them up.
Like pursuing a high-powered career just for the status,
Yeah.
even if it doesn't align with their passions.
Exactly. Or maybe trying to fit into a societal mold that doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
It's like wearing shoes that are a size too small. You might look the part, but you'll end up feeling uncomfortable and restricted.
So how do we uncover those values-based goals?
Mhm.
It sounds like it requires some deep self-reflection.
It does. Ask yourself, what kind of life do I want to build?
Hmm.
What impact do I want to have on the world?
Okay.
What brings me joy and fulfillment?
Big questions.
These are big questions, and the answers might evolve over time, which is perfectly normal.
It's an ongoing process, isn't it? Regularly checking in with ourselves.
Yes.
And making sure our goals are still in alignment with who we are and what we want.
Exactly. And once you have a clearer sense of your values, you can start translating them into tangible goals.
Yeah.
Remember that SMART framework?
Yeah.
It comes in handy here too.
That.
Let's say you value spending quality time with loved ones.
Okay.
A specific measurable goal could be, I'll have a family game night every Friday evening.
Or if someone values personal growth, their goal could be, I'll learn a new skill each quarter like coding or photography.
Precisely, when you align your goals with your values, it creates a sense of purpose that fuels your motivation. It's no longer about checking off a to-do list, but about living a life that feels aligned and authentic.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from ditching those vague resolutions to embracing a more intentional and personalized approach to goal setting.
Yes.
We've explored the power of SMART goals, visualization, self-compassion, daily habits, and lining our goals with our values. I feel like I have a whole new toolkit for approaching 2025 with a sense of purpose and excitement.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you. I hope our listeners feel equipped with practical tools and a fresh perspective as they embark on their own goal-setting journey for 2025.
Thank you for tuning in to the Wellbeing Podcast. Let's make 2025 a year of purpose and progress.